Hi guys, welcome back to Brew with C. On my channel, I talk about manifestation, spirituality, self-improvement, psychology, and how you can stop your limiting beliefs to become the best version of yourself. If that sounds interesting to you, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and turn on those post notifications so you can keep up with all my videos. As you can see by the title, I'm going to talk about how I was able to become a bartender at 18 years old. Disclaimer guys, every state has different regulations for the age that is appropriate to bartend. I know some states are 21 years old. I'm personally from New Jersey, and in New Jersey you have to be 18 to become a bartender. I'm going to give you guys some backstory first. So I was 18 when I first started in the restaurant industry because most restaurants that I was going to work at was serving liquor. So I started off at a restaurant as a host because I applied for a whole bunch of server jobs, and the only person that called me back was looking for a host, not a server, but he says that there's a very high growth potential in being a host. So I started off as a host. I was a host for maybe about 3 weeks, and then my manager asked me to become a server. And then shortly after, like a few months, maybe like less than a year after I became a bartender, I went from a host to a server to a bartender all in 1 year. That's all at me being 18, by the way, that whole situation. So here's some tips that I recommend if you really want to be a bartender. I strongly recommend that if you are in college or if you're just looking for something that has a good steady income where you don't have to work a lot of days and you want to make good money every single night and always come home with cash, then I definitely recommend that you work bartending, especially if you have a good personality, feel like you're very sociable, if you feel like that you get along with people really well. I think that bartending would be a great job for you. And people always ask me, like, how did you become a bartender? You're only 18. I thought you had to be 21 to bartend. I'm gonna spill all the tea, okay? I'm about to put y'all on. Don't say I never gave you anything, because I gave you this video. So basically, in this video, I'm gonna give you kind of just some realistic advice, because I'm not going to tell you to just apply to a whole bunch of jobs and expect you to get a bartending job, especially if you have no experience. I'm going to be very, very realistic. Like, I'm going to tell you to start from here so you can get here by a certain amount of time. I'm going to be realistic with you and how like the process goes for real, because this is how the process goes for most people realistically. But I think that this is the best process if you really want to become a bartender. But make sure that you guys watch all the way to the end, because my most important tip is going to be at the end, okay? So make sure that you stay tuned for the end of the video. So my first tip is to start from the bottom. I started as a host, and like I told you, I went from a host to a server to a bartender all within a year. So I personally think hosts, I don't really think you get much from being a host. I think that you should try to get into being a server, but if you can't, then definitely, start a host. But serving teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you how to deal with customers. It teaches you patience. It teaches you problem solving skills. And honestly, most bartenders were servers at some point. They have serving experience. So I feel like the best bartenders were servers at some point. Don't be afraid to start from the bottom. Don't be afraid to learn. At least you can, watch people make drinks, ask questions, see if it's something that you really, really want to do. Make sure that you work at a restaurant where there is a bar and the bartender. Moving on to my next point. My second tip is to be friends with the bartender. Like, be cool with them, talk to them. I mean, honestly, we're friendly with coworkers, so that shouldn't really be hard in general. But just be cool with them. You can ask some questions. They'll help you out with things. And if an available spot opens, they can recommend you to the manager so you can possibly have that position. So it's all about just being on good terms with the bar, because the bar can actually really help you out and open doors for you if it's something that you really want to do. My third tip is to build relationships with customers. So customers are the most important asset to any company. No customers, no business. No business, no money. If your managers see that you're good customers and that you can conversate with them, they like you, if customers are giving you good reviews and giving you Yelp reviews and stuff like that, that is a great criteria for a possible raise or a possible promotion. Definitely be friendly with customers. My experience with customers, when I was serving, I was a very friendly person, and people would still be sitting at the bar when I would go to get drinks to bring to my table, and I would talk to the people at the bar and I'd be friendly with them. And when somebody actually got terminated, they would tell my manager, like, oh my gosh, like Breeze, like I think she has great potential. I think she would make a great bartender. I think you should give her a try. So honestly, just do your part in showing off your personality and being extra kind and just having positive vibes at work. Positive vibes and positive radiant vibes are going to get you things faster than being negative and stagnant in your behavior. My next tip is to take a bartending course. Honestly, bartending courses are not even that expensive. I took a bartending course for less than $100. It was one day, it was 4 hours. And they basically just said the basics, like the regular basic counts, what each alcohol is. It's nothing too special, but they give you a certification, and it looks good when you're trying to look for a job specifically. It gives you way more leverage. Honestly, certain places will hire someone with a certification over someone who's experienced with no certification. So I think that having a certification or just having some type of course that you took to show some type of credibility is very, very helpful. Although you don't have to. A lot of places don't really care. Like my place didn't care. Like I never showed them my certification. Like I told them I had it, but that had nothing to do with the process of me becoming a bartender. It really didn't. My fourth tip, and I honestly think this is one of my most important tips, is to stand out. Stand out. Listen, a lot of people do the bare minimum and expect promotion. They expect to get things when they're not doing anything. They're coming to work late. They're not restocking. They're not doing side work. They're not doing anything. And then they expect to get all these promotions and all these opportunities. They get mad when they give it to someone else who's been doing their part and going out of their way. You're not going to get anything being the bare minimum. Be a leader, not a follower. So if everybody's late, get here on time. If something needs to be restocked, restock it. If somebody needs a shift and someone needs a cover, you help them and you pick up those covers. Your managers will see that and they respect that, and it will show that you have integrity and that you have discipline and persistency, and those are good qualities in being a bartender. And I promise you, that is one of the most important things in getting a promotion, any promotion in general, is to just stand out and just not do the bare minimum of what is expected of you. Be a team player, help your people out, help your servers out. Even if you guys have different sections and you guys aren't pooling, help your servers out if they need help and you're not doing anything. Just be a team player, because that is the most important quality in being a bartender, is knowing how to be a team player, period. My next tip is to simply just ask. A lot of people are shy about this topic, like, oh, I don't want to ask. But ever heard the saying, ask and you shall receive? You can't get anything out of life if you're scared to ask. And how are they supposed to keep you in the back of their mind if they don't even have you as an option to begin with? At least you tell them that you're interested and that they can kind of move on from there. But don't put anything up in the air and then get upset if someone gets promoted over you. They probably didn't even know that that was something that you're looking into. So do not be afraid to ask. And I think asking is probably one of the most important things, because if you should say from the beginning that you want to go from a server to a bartender. Like your goal is to go from a server to a bartender, and they'll watch you, they'll see you, and then they'll figure out or not if they think that you'd make a good bartender. And final tip, and I honestly think this is the most important tip, is to simply believe that you can do it. Listen, unless the area that you're from has any type of age regulations where you can't be a bartender, like you have to be 21 to bartend, you can do this. You can become a bartender at 18. I did not think I could be a bartender at 18 a year ago. Like, it just sounded so unrealistic to me. One of the youngest people to work as a bartender at my job. And it's just a blessing in and of itself, and I never would have thought that I could have got this, but I did. And you know why I got it? Because I simply believed I could. Whatever limiting belief, whatever vague concept that you have in your head that you can't do this, I'm telling you right now, you can do this. You simply just have to believe that you can. If you have a personality, if you like to talk to people, if you are just an overall positive and kind-spirited person and you're patient, I don't see why you can't do this. You can do this, okay? So this is probably the most important. So that's basically how I became a bartender at 18 years old. And I know that you can do it too if you follow these tips. So please don't give up. I want you to try this. It is an amazing opportunity, and I really think that you all can benefit from this. So if it's something that you genuinely feel like you can do, I really want you to try and at least start off with the server job. Just start with the server job and see where it goes, see if you like it, see if there's something you could do, and yeah. So thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna try to get videos out every single week from now on. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and good luck, guys, with your journey.